You know what it is, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy.
You know who it is, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy.
Odie, Maurice, Odie, Maurice.
Maurice Sody, Maurice Sody.
Black and sturdy, black and sturdy.
Black and sturdy, black and sturdy.
K-O.
Yes, Mo?
Are you ready?
Let's go!
Black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy, black and sturdy.
It's the Black and Sturdy Podcast with Odie and Maurice.
Huzzah! We are here. We
Yes.
are queer.
Yes.
Get used to it.
Yes, and it's Black History Month that we are celebrating right now. I also do the air horn on the thing.
Black History Month.
Yes, the only time of year where we can be our fullest, blackest self, except we do it 365 days out of the year. I, of course, am Maurice.
I'm Odie.
And together we are two nerds sitting here for the Black and Sturdy Podcast, the only sexy-ass nerd podcast that you need to be listening to.
We're nerds with feather flock together.
Yes. Do you have any, like, hauls or something? Like
I do.
Lozenge,
I do, and I'm going to get those.
along with the questions.
Along with the questions.
Yes.
because That's the one thing that I forgot to do.
Okay, it's cool. I'll vamp for a little bit. If this is your first time listening, I of course am Maurice. That is Odie. We started a podcast almost 2 years ago, and we have been bringing the news that you could use, some entertainment, some fun, some mirth, some reflection, and mental health advocacy to you. We are advocates, not experts, but we are here to bring you what you want, what you need, and everything in between. Queen Bee Davis, hello there.
Hello, Queen Bee.
How you doing? Hope you're doing well out there. We have these podcasts that we put out, and we also do them live on Instagram over the weekends, in addition to Watch Out Wednesdays.
Watch out now.
Watch out now, yes. So, definitely stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram to see when we're going to be recording and to follow us in general for some black nerdy goodness.
Yes. So do you want to get into the quick questions?
Yes, let us get into our question bag.
Is my mic on?
Yes, it is.
I can't hear myself. Oh. It was not fully plugged in.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
that makes sense. Okay. Shuffling. Don't look at the shuffles. Don't look at the shuffles. I'm shuffling.
My eyes are closed.
I'm shuffling. I'm
Oh,
shuffling.
you're shuffling two cards.
It doesn't matter. I'm shuffling them. So you
And
don't know.
I always choose whatever the one is on the top, so.
All right. There is no top. It was in each hand.
It was the one that was on the top.
It wasn't on top. It was in one of any.
How
hand.
are you different from your family?
Do you want to go first?
Well, I would say I can be a bit more moody and self-isolating. I would say that my family is mostly like boisterous, joyful people who like to spend time together and spend time with each other. And don't get me wrong, I like spending time with my family.
Mm-hmm.
But we have this thing called the sands of time, where we basically have an hourglass of time that we would enjoy spending with each other before. And once those sands run out, we can start to get on each other's nerves.
Yeah.
And my hourglass is actually smaller than most people's in our family, so I could probably tolerate a modicum of time before I'm like, all right, I gotta head out. And it becomes even more torturous because I don't drive, so it's not like I could just get up and drive away.
Yeah.
You know, I have
You're
to.
stuck.
I'm stuck. I'm trapped.
Yeah.
Trapped with my family. Oh, I
Yeah.
can't do that.
I was gonna make a reference, and then I said, "Oh no, we can't do that." I would say I'm different from my family in just my general unique and quirkiness.
What does that mean?
Like I am very.
Because y'all are all loud.
Yeah, but loud.
I met your family. Y'all are some loud talking.
We talk loud. We laugh loud. We are all, I would say, generally charismatic people. But my uniqueness is more so like how I dress, how I do my hair.
Yeah.
My interests are kind of across the spectrum of everything. And this I'm talking about my immediate family, not my like cousins and things like that, because I think I can find like people in my family group who kind of have a little bit of what I've got going on, but I think that like I am generally like the unique. My baby sister said that I am unapologetically myself, which I appreciate because she's only 16, so the fact that she knows that and appreciates it and feels like she can mirror that for herself, I feel like is a great compliment. Because like, remember yesterday I was telling you how my older sister was clowning me over the earmuffs she got me for Christmas?
Yes.
I fucking love these earmuffs. They're little like reindeers. Well, they're pink fuzzy earmuffs with sparkly little like reindeer horns, I guess, on them. I think that they're great, and everyone gives me compliments on them. And I don't care if people think they look silly or childish or any of those things, because I fucking like it. And if I like it and I love it, I don't care. And I think I've always had that perspective, even if I sometimes would be more closed off about sharing certain things I like because I was worried about being made fun of. But I mean, honestly, I'm gonna get made fun of about whatever I'm doing, even if it's the most normal, average thing. So why not just do the thing that I actually like and just be like, whatever, fuck it. So I think that it's great to be different and unique, because at the end of the day, I feel like both of our families understand and recognize our differences, even if they may sometimes be like, why can't you just be part of the group? It's just like, that's just you, and that's a good thing. So be different, kids. Stay weird, San Diego. Or no, it's Stay Weird Ocean City, but I feel like Stay Weird San Diego might also be.
I thought it was Stay Weird Portland.
Oh, I think it is Stay Weird Portland, but Stay Weird San Diego just has more of like a
Stay Classy San Diego. You're mixing it up.
Oh, that's from Anchorman, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I am mixing it up. All right. My question is, what does paradise look like to you?
Complete and utter isolation. Being by my fucking self, not having to deal with anybody. Like, that's fucking heaven right there.
Are you having a moment, because you keep talking about
What?
how are you feeling? I mean, you can save this for the mental health portion, but
I'm good. I recognize how often I have to deal with people and how easy it would be if I didn't have to deal with motherfuckers all the time.
you want there to be an apocalypse.
Yeah, that would be great to thin out the fucking herd so that there's just not that many people that I have to deal with, like fucking people and their intricacies and their reasonings behind why they will and won't do something and stuff, like forgetting hats and cars and shit. And I'm just like, if you don't shut the fuck up and leave me alone, you know, that's all I want to do is just like be left alone until I'm ready to interact with people. Okay? I relate, you know what? I relate heavily to I think his name is either Bill or Bob from The Last of Us, where he was that first 20 minutes where he was just like by himself in a bunker, you know, collecting rabbits to eat food and stuff like that. And then after a while, he, you know, found somebody else to care for and everything. And that was nice and that was sweet. It was a bit of a departure from the video game, but, you know, it was actually a really good departure.
It was a great
It was
episode.
very well done.
I still feel like that one of those bodies, one of those carcasses he had looked like a person.
What do you mean one
Remember
of the
when
carcasses?
it showed the montage?
No,
of
I
him
don't
doing
think
stuff.
he's not a cannibal.
Not to say he was a cannibal, but I mean, if the food's
He's
there,
like a farmer. They had
was
animals.
it was big.
Yes. Animals can be big. It doesn't have to be fucking human. It didn't look human.
Okay.
You could see you could tell like a filleted human from a skinless cow or skinless like goat or something like that. If you played enough Red Dead Redemption like I have, you can tell the difference.
I mean, if you've watched Game of Thrones, I think also. They
Oh,
do a lot
my
of
goodness.
flame. All right. Well,
I feel bad for anybody who's currently going back and trying to watch Game of Thrones from the beginning, because it's like you'll see like, oh, this is very detailed and it's a slow pace, and then it just ramps up into bullshit.
Yeah. Yes, that is true.
It's just like we ran out of the source material, even though apparently George R.R. Martin was like begging them, like, here, take my notes. This is what it should be. No, they're just like, we're cutting out stories, no lady
We never go.
Stoneheart.
Yeah, and I freaking liked her character a lot. We so many departures. It was very obnoxious, but
They had the budget, like
they have the budget and the time. You have 10 episodes a season. You could fit in. You have all these other random ass
He
characters.
said that if they had followed the source material, they would have been able to do it for 10 years, but they wanted to run it and gun it so that they can do something with Star Wars. And
No, it was like
turns out
it was like Civil War, like
that was one of the projects. They were also tapped to do something with Star Wars.
that got cut.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, when everybody saw what they did to Game of Thrones, they're like, do we trust these guys with
No.
any more money? We don't
No.
even trust y'all to come back for the Game of Thrones prequel. Sword in the Stone or the Dragon or whatever the fuck it's called.
House of the Dragon. House of the Dragons. House of Dragon.
House of the Dragon.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So, are you ready to get into the pop culture segment?
Did we answer the second question? Did you answer
Oh
the second
shit, I
question?
didn't. I did not. Paradise. What does that look like to me?
A billion friends constantly surrounding you, filling you with stimuli, I bet. How much you want to bet?
No, actually,
Not
it's
being
not.
by yourself. The opposite of me. Like, I think you would lose your fucking mind if you were like put into like isolation.
I would, because we're human and we're not supposed to be
We're
isolated.
human. We're not supposed to.
Anyway, I as much as I like being around people, I prefer one-on-one interactions. However, I do enjoy being with people at times. So, yes, I'm a people person. But I would say Paradise would look like to me a being.
Billion books that you could half read.
Can you let me answer the question? A house on a beach house in like a nice climate, where I'm in the house, not like a too big house, but like something that like has 2 floors with like a reading nook and like a sleep section, like a nap, not a bedroom, like a nap nook and a reading nook, maybe in the same place because I like to.
What does a nook? Wait, okay. So I've seen breakfast nooks, like in kitchens and stuff.
Well, remember when I told you?
So what does a reading nook look like and a sleeping nook?
Remember when I told
Just
you
rooms?
that I used to like, where my favorite place to read as a kid was in my closet, like on the floor. So a reading nook kind of has that same kind of compactness. Like it would be maybe like, okay, the reading nook and the nap nook are in the same room, but like
It's showing that our live is paused.
we're not paused. We're here.
I don't know. I'm just letting you know.
Can you click out and click in?
And our quality looks.
I mean, hey, I'm sorry. I couldn't get the new phone this weekend because I didn't have any. So,
Yeah. See? Paused.
well, now it's spinning.
No, that's what it's been doing.
Well, that's why you should listen to the podcast on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever else Anchor distributes podcasts. But yeah, so it would be half a room. One side would have like a comfy, maybe not a hammock, but like somewhere like a comfy couch that's like kind of like a bigger couch, like a bean bag type of situation where I can like sit. Or yeah, the reading nook has a bean bag, but it's like or a little elevated like bay window where I could put my back.
A beanbag or a bay window?
No, I feel like the bean bag might be the nap portion, but like one of those jumbo big bean bags that like a whole person could fit in, and that it'll be really soft and cushiony. The reading nook portion will have like a bay window, so I could sit, but it will be a bay window with like a cushion, so that I can like.
What do you mean a bay window with a cushion?
I'm explaining it, and if you stopped asking questions, we would get through this much faster.
I think you are just not great when it comes to these details.
You're
not painting a picture.
Interrupting me and not allowing me to finish.
The worst Bob Ross episode I've ever seen.
Shut up. Thank you.
All right.
God. You're such a heavy sigh.
Thank you for stealing my nomenclature. I
Well-
need to trademark some of this stuff.
Well, I'm using it against you because that's the truth. My reading nook will be have a bay window, and the bay window will have a big enough ledge for me to sit on it, and then it'll have a cushion so that I can both look out the window while I'm reading. So maybe it's raining, maybe it's sunny, I don't know, but I get to see the outside, and it's cushy on the seat, and then on the back portion there's some pillows around, so my back is supported, and that way I can read in my nook. There's bookshelves, of course, with various books. Maybe there's also a television or radio in there, so I can listen to music and also maybe watch episodes or something if I want. Little entertainment room, but including Netflix.
So an entertainment room, not
Entertainment room. So it has
like-
that. And then it has like a fully stocked kitchen with a big island and like 2 stoves, like 2 ovens. I would prefer gas ovens, even though I know that's like, they're supposed to be bad for you. But I prefer cooking on a gas stove. And then like there's animals. There's like a cat, a dog in the house. Outside, there's some other animals. Maybe it's like a jungle atmosphere where I could see a sloth. It's Costa Rica. There we are in Costa Rica. I'm touching sloths while I'm reading in my nook. I'm waving at toucans. I'm seeing some sheep and llamas walking around. They're just meandering. Other creatures are meandering outside.
Are you eating any of these animals?
No, I mean I'm gonna go to the store and buy meats, but I'm not.
So
eating the
there's
animals
a
that are
store
walking
in this.
Like I'm not gonna be far away from civilization. I can go get food things if I need. I have a fully stocked kitchen, and I can occasionally invite people over for kickbacks and pool parties and beach days. And yeah, it's just like I can do whatever I want in the house, generally like by myself or one other person, and then just be able to have my solitude time in my nook, doing what I want. Oh, there's also an arts and crafts room where I can do painting, coloring, and other arts and crafts that I like to do. And yeah, I think that's paradise. Like I love being on the beach. I love having books to read and quiet to read them, because that's when I'll actually be able to finish it without all the distractions of the world.
But you literally included world distractions in there. You said like a bay window where you could look out you'll always be distracted.
Yeah, but being distracted by looking at the water.
Like the water in the world,
But
there's some
that's
sloths and like
but
meandering toucans and
that's
shit.
not distracting me in the same way that like people would be distracting me, or like I'm not going to be on a computer and reading, because that's.
But
gonna
it's
be
still a
distracting.
distraction.
But that's not the same. There are certain distractions that are helpful for me, and there are certain distractions that are not. If I'm working and I'm listening to music while I'm working, that is a distraction, but it's helping one part of my brain be distracted so that the other part of my brain can focus on the work.
Okay. Yeah, this live keeps pausing.
Oh. We don't own Instagram, so we can't do anything about that. All right. That's it for the questions.
Okay.
Are you ready to jump into the pop culture segment?
Yes, I am. Here we go. Blue.
This must be pop.
Yes. So our pop culture segment where we talk about news you can use and all the sort of things that's happening in the entertainment, political, and the various worlds. But of course, this is a special occasion because it is February. It's Black History Month. So Odie's gonna hit us off with a few Black History facts.
Well, not a few. We're gonna shout during the month of February. We're gonna shout out some Black history icons you should know.
Yes, and if there are any children here that are watching on live or listening to this podcast, you'll have some more inspirations other than the 4 big ones that everybody usually covers. Like, all right, we get it. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, and Harriet Tubman. They're fantastic. They're
But there's more.
Mount Rushmore of Black history.
There's more.
There were more. There were other great
Black people.
Both
Alive and dead, who have done amazing things.
Yes.
Even, I saw this quote the other day. Oh, my Wi-Fi is not on.
Okay, well.
That's what's going on. I don't know when it turned off. But, all right. Sorry, guys. My Wi-Fi was not on. Okay. So, paused again. We're back. Here we are. Are we moving?
No.
What about now?
No. Oh, yeah, we are.
Okay. So, I was looking for some Black History Month unsung heroes. Oh, I was saying that I saw this quote the other day on Twitter, or not a quote. Someone said on Twitter that as much as we should be recognizing these Black History Month figures who made history and were trailblazing, you should also remember that you as a Black person are part of Black history every day because you create your own history within your own orbit, and you never know the people that you are impacting with who you are and the things that you do. So don't forget to big up yourself this Black History Month. So give yourself a pat on the back.
Okay.
But our inaugural Black History Month icon that you should look up is Gladys Bentley. And she was in the 30s, she was considered Harlem's most famous lesbian. And if you think about it, in 1930s, being queer was still illegal in majority of the country, if not all of the country.
Yes, it wasn't fun like it is now being a lesbian in Harlem.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun.
It's way more fun now. You have lots of more places to go. The police aren't, not to say that there's not issues, but you could have a club like 4 West or Lambda where you could go enjoy being around other queer people. And
Do you think old girl from last night was a lesbian? The one who gave us a ride?
Maybe she was queer. She might have been family.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know about lesbian, but maybe she might have been on the Kinsley scale.
Because she was dancing all up on Keith and terrifying him.
Way to blow up the spot. Wow.
How is that blowing up the spot? She was doing it in front of everybody.
Yeah, but you just saying who it is. What if Keith doesn't want people knowing he was getting,
Oh, Keith is a little whore.
Keith, when you listen to this, just know that was not me, that was all him.
Yeah.
And you know it.
You're my friend, and I know. But come on now, I know you. I know why you keep your body as fit and active as you do.
Well,
you don't have no titties to worry about. Well, that's not true. You do have titties to worry about.
Anyway, we're going back to the Black
Multiple
History
titties.
Month discussion, and
feeling on
not
booties and shit. I peeped it all last night.
Can you save your commentary for later?
Maybe.
So we could get through this Black History Month fact.
We'll see.
You're taking the thunder away from Gladys.
Okay. So, yes, I would never take away Gladys's thunder. Now,
anyway,
tell me about this strong Harlem lesbian.
She used to wear more masculine presenting clothes, and she would perform at places like the Clam House and the Ubangi Club, and
Is that Gladys right there?
Oh no, that's Baynard Rustin. This is
Okay,
Gladys
yeah,
Bentley.
no, that was Gladys.
And she looked like, she looked like she would know how to perform and also
like a young Cedric the Entertainer. What? That's a compliment.
She does not look
Like if Cedric the Entertainer and Missy Elliott had a kid.
okay. All right. I will, yes. Okay. The mixed day, yeah. Okay, sure. Fine. Anyway, she was born in 1907. She passed away at the age of 52 in 1960. And she was one of the best known Black entertainers in the United States during her time. So we want to give a shout out to our honorable ancestor, Gladys Bentley, because I think even if
She walked so that we could run.
she did, she walked so that we could run, so that all of these, studs and butch queens could come out and do what they want to do.
Shout out to Sam J.
Like, there would be no Sam J if there was not a Gladys Bentley.
Yes.
Being able to dress how you want, love who you want, and perform for people regardless of who's going to say what. Because at the end of the day, when you're that girl, you're that girl.
Did you know Mo had titties? From You People.
Yes, that was actually a good movie.
Yeah.
We should review that and watch out now.
Okay.
But anyway, that is our Black History fact.
Black History fact.
Icon for this week. And look her up. Her name is Gladys Bentley. Gladys spelled Gladys and Bentley Bentley.
I'm so used to the my friend
Yes.
way of spelling it.
Is that your hair?
Is that your hair? That I'm not used. Like I have to get reacquainted with the actual spelling of Gladys.
Not the actual. It's one of the variety of
Out this
spelling.
silent letter bullshit.
You can't tell people how to spell their names. And clearly, even though you tried
I
to.
told her mama. I was just like, what were you thinking? What was going on there? Like, you just wanted to throw everybody off. You just wanted to give her
do what she wanted to do.
have her a hard time.
When you push out a baby, you can do what you want. Do what you want when you popping. All right, so moving on.
Big babies popping, little babies stopping. What?
We're moving on. Do you see what's next?
Yeah, I do
No
see that.
shenanigans.
Okay.
Please.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
So this is not we're celebrating the lives of two people who we've lost, who have anniversaries in some way today. Today is the memorial, the anniversary of Cicely Tyson and Cicely Tyson's passing. Entertainment has not been the same since she's been gone. She definitely was just a beacon of light. She'd been in the industry, I want to say, since from her 20s. And, there's never been another one like her. And also, it's Trayvon Martin's birthday, who, we should all know. These are both Black History Month icons for you to look into if you are been living under a rock. But Trayvon Martin should be here for his birthday, and we are just celebrating him and his family for all they've done since his passing. They have taken their pain and their grief, and they have motivated it into action. And so we are all still here for you, both Cicely Tyson's family and Trayvon Martin's family. We're sending you lots of love today, because I know memorials like these can be, they can be difficult. So we're sending lots of love. Mm-hmm. Now, are you prepared for
The news?
the shenanigans?
Yes.
All right. Well, one of my links is gone. But in more similar, kind of related to Trayvon Martin and Black Lives Matter news, we spoke last week about Tyree Nichols, who was murdered in Memphis by police officers who tased and beat him so badly that he ended up succumbing to his injuries. And at the time, I mentioned that it was 5 black police officers, and there was speculation that there might have been another a white police officer involved, and that has been confirmed. And, and that police officer has been fired. His name is Preston Hemp Hill.
He looks like a fucking
He looks
cop.
like a Nazi. He's been fired. He has not yet been criminally charged, which is weird. I feel like this is one of those things where white privilege is going to get you off the hook.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for Tyree Nichols' family and like other people in the community calling for this police officer's name to be presented and for him to be fired, it wouldn't have happened. And even if he didn't partake necessarily in beating him, he was holding the taser, and you're a police officer. So that means if you're seeing a crime being committed, it is your duty to stop it. And he did not.
Yes.
So fuck him. And
He saw something, he didn't say anything.
Exactly. I hope that he is charged swiftly and given the same justice, or that the same justice prevails with all these police officers. And the 3 police officers that were a part of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated have had their memberships revoked, which is great because you don't deserve to be a part of the Divine Nine when you're clearly just terrible, hateful assholes. And
Yeah, no more barks for you.
there was a rumor that maybe Tyree had been in a relationship with one of the police officers' ex-girlfriends or wives.
Yeah, I saw that.
But his father came out and said that wasn't true. So there doesn't need to be a motive for the police to kill someone or attack them or anything. You do what you want when you can, and no one's going to say anything to you. Like, that's just what it is. They attack people on a daily basis for no reason, but they were breathing. So
Yeah.
I'm sure more things will come out from this soon.
We're going to monitor the situation.
But, of course, we're still praying for his family and his community, black people as a whole, because these kind of scenarios, they never get easier. As much as you can try to distance yourself from being inundated with the graphic images, it never stops being hurtful and horrifying that these things are going on. So, in more shenanigans, Ilhan Omar, she is the Democratic U.S. representative from Minnesota. She has been ousted from the House Foreign Affairs Committee, which is a very prominent committee in the House of Representatives. And she had made some comments about Israel. I mean, Israel is always going to be a hot button topic.
Yeah.
Move over more because they can't see. It's always going to be a hot button topic in U.S. politics because of the fact that they are genociding Palestinians and taking their land and their homes without any sort of pushback from anyone, and then blaming it on the Palestinians and saying that, they are harming them, when in reality they're fighting back against brutality. But the same way the police get away with things here, police and other privileged groups in other areas get away with things because the people don't look the same way or they have a different religion, etc. And she has always been very public about her detest of the situation, and that, of course, has gotten her a lot of pushback, negative pushback from her white colleagues. And so now they have reprimanded her by removing her from the committee. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, yes, she had a very impassioned argument against this. because it seems like it's more you're chastising and punishing this black Muslim woman over her thoughts about other Muslims, POCs being murdered and being removed from their homes and their land, when that should be we talk about free speech. Like, it's not being anti-Semitic to say that something's wrong if it's wrong, because if it was the other way around, we would be saying it's wrong regardless. So I would say go on. C-SPAN has it on their socials, but probably on AOC's social you could find her speech. It was very good. It was a few minutes long. She, of course, was, it's a minute long. She compared this to the Islamophobia that happened after 9/11. And, she was very angry. And everyone else, the whole squad was angry, and everyone was, the women, or I would say the POC women, and other allies were speaking up against this. But it's just more bullshit that happens in American politics all the time. I'm not surprised that this happened. And in more terrible political decisions, did you hear about what was happening in Massachusetts regarding prisons and organ donation?
No, tell me.
Okay, well, the Massachusetts, a bill was proposed in Massachusetts, Bill HD 3822, which would create a bone marrow and organ donation program. It was introduced by the state reps Carlos Gonzalez and Judith Garcia, who are both Democrats. And this would allow for those who are incarcerated in Massachusetts to have their sentence reduced between 60 days and 12 months if they give an organ donation, such as like a liver, kidney, and then of course bone marrow. All these things are generally things that are in need and that are high commodity. But this sounds like some Black Mirror, Squid Games. What is that movie, The Island? You ever saw that movie with
the clones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many times we've seen in just pop culture.
Terrible movie.
That this does not work. Michael Clark Duncan was in that movie.
He was?
Yeah, he was the football player who...
Right.
But this is not... Organ donation is something that you do voluntarily. But you are not... Someone who is in prison and incarcerated, sometimes whether they're guilty or not, is of course going to want to get out as soon as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're someone who has a year left or 2 years left, yeah, I would take a year off, or 10 years. You're going to do anything you can to get out. And that is not something that's really, I feel like, a viable option, because it's not ethical, for one, if people in prison age faster than their age mates outside of prison because of the conditions. So what's going to happen when you come out? You've donated your kidney, but then your other kidney is going to be, failing, and now you don't have a backup. And you're probably, because you were in prison, you're not going to have the same resources or access unless you're were a hedge fund manager who had all this money. Like, most people in prison are from low income areas that don't have access to resources. So this is just a ploy to get more Black and brown and poor people to sacrifice their bodies so that other people can live better. And I just feel like, I don't know why this was even, it doesn't make sense why this was even proposed, because it is a very dystopian idea. But, who knows? Who knows what would happen?
Yeah, I don't know if I would take any prison organs. Like, even if I needed it, because where it's coming from, right? Like, if you're on a transplant list,
sometimes you don't always know.
It's just, they're just going to put an organ inside of me that I don't know where it comes from. If we're ethically sourcing our meat, like for farm to table and shit. Like you would think that they would have like the same sort of due diligence for organ transplants.
But not always.
Where
like,
did it come from?
You can find out after. But like if you're in surgery and someone's on the donor list and it matches,
Came from Rikers.
you'll just go into. They'll be like, you're going into surgery. Maybe afterwards they might tell you, but they don't always know exactly where it came from. They say there's an accident, someone just died. We're bringing you the body or whatever. You just get prepared, and at that point, if you're someone who has, for instance, like kidney disease and you're very sick and you're in and out of the hospital, that may not be the first thing on your mind. Maybe after, so some people like to send notes to the family or thank them and all that, but you may not know. I mean, you could ask, but it's like, is that going to be your top priority if you're really sick? I wouldn't want that because I would not want to. I don't want to exploit people for their organs, which is the reason why you can't buy.
Are you an organ donor?
Yeah.
Okay. I am too.
There's a reason why you can't pay for organs, even though it's a black market.
Yeah,
You
there's
know,
black markets for
there's
organs
black
all
market,
over the place.
Which is why the Hotep's always saying black people are being stolen for our melanin and our organs. Which honestly, who knows?
A melanin transplant?
Yeah, because apparently melanin, like, you could take people's. I don't know how exactly it works, but apparently you could take it, and it's like very valuable because of all the different ways that it's protecting us. So who knows? But that is a lot of times the conspiracy theory about why you see all these people taken. But who knows? But the same reason you can't get a black market organ and use it, you can't buy an organ and use it because of the ethical ramifications. Because how do you know that this person's not being coerced or harming themselves in order to make money? Like, how many? Think about the movie Purge. You ever saw the first one or
Yes.
the second? Did you see the second one?
No, I never saw the second one.
In the second one, this is not, well, I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but it was in like the first 10 minutes of the movie. The grandpa in the movie sacrifices himself to a wealthy family so that they could kill someone, so that his family, who doesn't have money, could then go on and have something extra, like a life insurance policy. But there's a reason why those things are frowned upon. So I hope they knock this down, because there has to be other ways. Can we 3D print an organ? Like, I'm sure that there's science behind that. So look into it. Okay. Now, there's a lot of medical things we're talking about this week. In Florida, of course, there were about more than 7,500 nurses who paid this company to get. It was three Florida-based nursing schools got money to give 7,600,000 fraudulent nursing degrees.
76,000?
7,600.
Oh,
So
7,600.
7,600.
Okay.
So
okay.
you should all be checking to see where your nurses.
And of course this would happen in Florida.
Of course it would. Of course.
It's crazy to think that in Florida there's just a bunch of false nurses running around, changing out bedpans.
Well, and not even just that. Like when
taking EKGs.
I just went to go get one of my doctor's appointments, and the nurses come in, they take your blood,
Yeah.
they do all the different stuff like that. And even though, like, if you have a good nurse, even sometimes if like they can't find my veins, they'll be able to find them and do it so it doesn't really hurt. There was this one nurse I had one time. She had like magic fingers. I didn't even feel the needle go in. It was perfect. But I've also had times where the nurse is like, "Oh, can't find it,"
jamming it in,
wiggling around your veins.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine you're supposed to get a dosage of a specific medicine, and if you get too much, something bad can happen, and this person doesn't know the difference between a milliliter and, like, I don't know, a liter or something. Like those, all the things you learn in nursing school are important. You can't learn nursing from a YouTube video.
Yes.
Okay?
It's the one thing that you can't learn from a YouTube
like
video.
you need to go to
You
school.
learn fucking Photoshop and Adobe Acrobat and
Like-
Mavis Beacon, but you can't learn nursing.
Please go to school for these things. And the three schools were Siena College, Palm Beach School of Nursing, and Sacred Heart International Institute.
Sacred Heart from Scrubs.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched it in a long time.
Yeah.
Well, if y'all have,
Maybe that might be the next one I binge.
look into that. Look and see where your nurses are, because that's scary to me.
Yeah.
All right. In some scary news for some people, 2 major divorces have been finalized. Neo and his ex-wife, and Babyface and his ex-wife, and they are both, Neo and Babyface are both having to pay out the ass for this divorce. Neo has to give his ex-wife, Crystal Renee, $1.6 million lump sum, and $20,000 for moving expenses. And then he also has to give her $150,000 so she could buy a new car, because he's keeping their Bentley Bottega. He'll pay her $12,000 a month in child support for their 3 children, and $5,000 per month in alimony for the next 3 years. Which is, I mean, you were cheating all over the place, you know? So I'm not surprised that this is your lot in life.
Well, he just couldn't put himself away.
He couldn't.
He just couldn't
He
stop.
just couldn't put his penis away. Babyface and his second wife, Nicole Pattenberg, are now also divorced. And he has to give her $37,500 per month.
That is a yearly salary for
It is. Many people.
Many people.
That's more than many people's in America's yearly salary. Like, I couldn't even imagine what I would do with that per month. I would do something with it. I would do stuff. Like, shit.
You would spend it on a bunch of bullshit that you would do once and then never again. Clothing.
Why are you trying to drag?
Books.
I don't understand. What did I do to you?
Cute Japanese uniform, teenager-inspired clothing.
Yeah, I probably would. And I would also save some of it and go on a vacation to touch
Go to
sloths.
fucking Beyonce.
Yeah, fucking would. I sure the fuck would.
See all the fucking concerts.
Yes.
See all the dress changes.
A world
and the set
tour.
lists and shit.
All right, now there's celebrity news. Tiffany Haddish, who has, of course, the actress, and had the sexual assault or child abuse allegations lobbed against her a few months ago. The lawsuit was dropped, I think, because she paid them. They got a settlement, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh no, Tiffany's always been nice to us. I don't believe them. I believe them that she and Aries Spears were being real weird with them, but I don't believe that they just dropped it out of the goodness of their heart. I think it's because they got paid and probably had to sign an NDA. But
which is strange, because if you're gonna hit up anybody, why would you hit up Aries Spears for money? That motherfucker ain't doing shit.
yeah, he doesn't have any money.
Yeah, those fucking
And this was
Mad TV reboots are not happening with him.
And it was so long ago that, like, when it happened, they didn't have any money. So it was just like, well, it wouldn't. They weren't making it up, in my opinion. Allegedly, these things happen. I feel like I believe them. But the city girls, the girls trip, is coming out with another movie,
Having a sequel.
which I liked the first one, so I'm looking forward to the second one. And people were speculating whether or not she was going to join. She said, I can't be concerned about what people think. I gotta be concerned about when I look in the mirror, am I happy with what I see? Oh yes, man, God made it. God did a good job and God knows the truth. I think they should have taken her out and replaced her with, oh man, what's the woman from Abbott Elementary? The principal. Is it Jay? Jeanette?
Janelle James.
Janelle James. First of all, hilarious.
Yes.
Knows how to like, to me, Tiffany
She's a
Haddish
great comedian.
is, in my personal opinion, I find her humor to be mid because it's over the top, and it's like the stereotypes that she pushes into stereotypes into ways that I don't really enjoy. I don't really like any comedian that does
She's like
that.
female Kevin Hart.
Yes. And even Kevin
Sorry,
Hart.
woman Kevin Hart, I should say.
Kevin Hart.
What am I, Andrew Tate?
Ugh.
Female.
Andrew Tate. Kevin Hart, he leans into his corniness and is like extra, but I feel like I could still find it enjoyable. Where she just leans into the loud black woman stereotype, which I don't find it enjoyable because it doesn't feel like it's too much all the time, and it doesn't feel like that would be her like natural comedic ways. So I just feel like we could have switched her out. There was no love lost in.
Because who all is in it? It's Queen Latifah, Jada Pinkett Smith.
Regina Hall.
Regina Hall.
Yeah, Regina Hall. They could have. Janelle James could have been Tiffany Haddish's sister.
Regina Hall was in the Honk If You Love Jesus.
Yes.
Right? Okay, yeah. She's great.
Great.
Another
Amazing
great
actress.
movie.
And,
another great actress. They could have replaced her with old girl from the Scary Movie franchise.
Which?
The black one.
That's Regina Hall.
That's Regina Hall too?
Yes.
That is Regina Hall.
Regina Hall's been in everything.
That is Regina Hall. They could have replaced her with Nia Long. Just because I want to see Nia Long more.
Come on. But I just feel like Janelle James would have been great. She's a breakout artist. We know how well she's been doing with Abbott Elementary. And also, I feel like, do you want to have, when you have a movie come out, you want the press to be good press, and the press around her is not going to be good press.
Yeah, they're probably going to bring that up a lot and stuff like that, just lobby that at her. So she's going to have to use all of her PR skills to bob and weave those conversations, which you don't really want. It's just like when Arrested Development came out for their final season, and most of it was spent talking about Jeffrey Tambor's behavior and everything like that. Just it casts a huge cloud on things. So, we'll see.
We'll see.
Will you go see it?
I would say I liked the first one. I'm not saying that I'm going to boycott the film because she's in it. Like I said, when we talked about last week of like the other celebrities should not be penalized because a lot of times these are not their decisions that they're making. It's the movie, whatever, the studio or whatever. So I think I would probably still see it. It's like one of those things where I'm just like, I hope she has a very small role where we don't have to see her
she's
much.
not going to have a small role. She's one of the 4 primary main characters. They're not going to diminish her role, but it's all good. We can move on.
All right, so now we got good things a-coming.
Folks, where's the lie?
And the first and most important is the Beehive.
Okay.
Finally, after months and months of speculation, have dates for Beyonce's Renaissance tour. I'm so very happy, and honestly, like, I can't wait. I want to see her in New York. I want to see her in another part of the country. I want to see her out of the country. And we haven't got any visuals. Like, you just know that this is about to be like the greatest thing ever, because Beyonce always gives you better than the last. Jay-Z's not going to be a part of it, thank God. Not to say that like him on tour is bad. He definitely stepped his game up for On the Run 2. But I want to see a Beyonce tour with just her and nobody else running around the stage after.
You think she'll bring out Destiny Child?
Maybe. I mean, like sometimes she'll do
Beyonce
that.
has a catalog where she doesn't have to.
She doesn't need to, and she'll just be doing Renaissance.
Do her own thing.
She might bring them out for fun, just to be like, oh, come on and sing "I'm That Girl with Me," or just be, when like and is it on
that's the Disney Channel. That's the Destiny Child song that you think of?
No, I'm That Girl on Renaissance.
Oh, okay.
Or when she's talking about like her girls in the front and the boys in the back, or whatever.
Maybe they could all do the Cuff It Challenge.
There we go.
Maybe she'll have an elaborate dance for Cuff It instead
I wouldn't
of
be surprised.
this bullshit that white people can't do. That white people struggle to do every
so
single
bad.
time.
It's terrible.
And I also struggled to do it too, but
you
even
got
I
it.
nailed it.
You did. You nailed it the first time. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Everybody needs to be prepared. They said the Ticketmaster, because they have this whole like registration thing.
Did it crash?
It had like 800% more or something like that. No, people registering than any other thing. But you remember with Taylor Swift when her tour came out?
Yeah.
And she was all crying about, oh my God, people can't get tickets. And Beyonce was like, we don't play those games. You're going to come correct or you're not going to come at all. And they said you can't resell the tickets for more than
they're worth.
They're worth. So
I mean, you know, motherfuckers are gonna try anyway.
they're gonna try, but I think that on Ticketmaster,
You're gonna go on Craigslist and just be like
$5,000.
Yeah.
I do hope that people think that the tickets are really expensive, so that they will not buy them. Because I just want to make sure that I'm getting my spot.
Have you purchased your ticket yet?
No, they haven't gone on sale yet.
Oh, they just told you that they are coming.
So
when
you have to
do they
register.
go on sale?
So tonight or the 6th, it goes on sale in Europe. Mm-hmm. And I'm planning on going in Germany because it's the day after my birthday. And I'm going to go with my cousins. So I'm looking forward to that. And that one is in a few hours. So, Leandra, you better be prepared.
Well, you sound like you have your birthday plans already mapped out.
No, I don't.
There's nothing else that
No,
needs to
there's so many
occur.
other things that are going to occur.
Yeah.
That is a separate...
So many things.
Yeah.
No, compared to Beyonce, nothing can live up to it.
It doesn't
you might as
matter.
well just be like, all right,
No.
go to IHOP.
No. We're still doing things. So,
No.
yes.
You can do them by yourself.
Anyway.
Me, myself, and
Shut
I.
up!
That's what I found out.
God. Anyway, in other Black excellence
Ain't no
news, Missy Elliott has made history by becoming the first female hip hop artist to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which she greatly deserves. It's coming, a long time coming. She's amazing, one of the best musicians. Not even just hip hop, like any music she touches, you already know it's gonna be amazing. And she also she just put out some pictures. She looks gorgeous. She looks healthy and beautiful, like she's taking care of herself and getting rest. So that's great. Also, more Black history on the Super Bowl that's coming up next Sunday. It's against the, what is this? It's Jalen Hurt and Jalen Hurt.
It's the Philadelphia Eagles
Eagles
versus Chiefs.
Yes. And Jalen...
all the friends from Philadelphia have just been insufferable.
It's annoying. And
Talking about you, Alex. You and your bullshit.
Fuck you, Empire.
You live in Atlanta now, okay? Claim those Falcons.
Fuck Empire State Building for that shenanigans you put up with the green and white. We don't appreciate that. Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes are the first Black starting quarterbacks in NFL history to face off at the Super Bowl. And Jalen Hurts' agent, Nicole Lynn, is the first Black woman agent to represent an NFL quarterback in the Super Bowl.
Nice.
So, yay, yay, yay. Lizzo has debuted her boyfriend. They were dating for some time, and then they made it official, and now they are social media officials. So she looks great. She was at the Grammy pre-party.
Oh, it's a Black man. Oh, thank God.
His name is Mike Wright.
Mike Wright.
Yeah, and it's spelled with M-Y-K-E.
Yeah, I know that's
Black.
right.
They look
You
gorgeous.
heard.
They look happy. We love it. What were you gonna say about it?
No, nothing. I'm just glad because Lord knows I thought
know.
something else.
Okay, this is some good news that came out of some shenanigans. I feel like we might have talked about this a few months ago, but this 9-year-old girl in Jersey, she had been going around her neighborhood and spraying the trees with a liquid she made to fight lantern flies, because they've been talking about them a lot. They're not great for the trees. They're very predatory. And so she figured this out on her own and was trying to help the community. These stupid white people called the police on her, saying she looked threatening, and it just became this whole thing. But she was honored by Yale last month, by the Yale School of Public Health. And I'm really happy about this. an assistant professor at Yale, Ijoma Opara, she's Nigerian, of course, said we wanted to show her bravery, and how inspiring she is. We just want to make sure she continues to feel honored and loved by the Yale community. Ijoma had actually brought her to Yale so that she could see, the campus and talk to other Black scientists, because like this is a budding scientist, and even if she decides, when she goes to college, she wants to do something different. Like, she was doing something to help, something that the adults weren't even doing, and they were trying to vilify her and could have gotten her killed, because we all know how the police like to behave around Black children. Mm-hmm. So I'm so happy for her getting this spotlight, because she deserves it.
Yeah, look at time.
Yes, I can see. Bad Boys for Life. Again, it's coming out, number 4. Looking forward to that. I think it's coming out sometime later this year or early next year. Mm. So I'm looking forward to that. I feel like, Eddie Murphy just got his Cecil B. DeMille Award from the
Eddie Murphy's not in Bad Boys.
Sorry.
That's Martin Lawrence and Will Smith.
You want to know why I was thinking of Eddie Murphy?
Because of you people.
No, because Eddie Murphy was just clowning Martin Lawrence, because Martin was talking about Bad Boys coming out and all that. But also, Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence's children are in a relationship.
Yeah.
And I think they're engaged. And Martin Lawrence was trying to say he was going to try to get Eddie to pay for the wedding. And I had just watched that video of Eddie, bro, was like, nah, you pay for it, bro. And that's what made me think of him. But yes, Martin Lawrence, Will Smith, coming back together in Miami. They'll probably have Will Smith's son that he had with the witch from Mexico in there. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it'll be good. I've always enjoyed. I
still haven't seen Bad Boy 3.
Well, we should watch it.
I don't know where it is. Where can you stream it?
Oh, I don't know. But I thought it was, it was cute. It was a Bad Boys movie. Mm-hmm. And lastly, tonight we're going to be checking out the Grammy Awards. And let me tell you this something, Grammys. Beyonce better fucking win the record of the year, anything that she is a part of, album of the year especially.
It's going up again. First off, how is ABBA still getting nominated?
Listen, I didn't even hear any ABBA song, and there are some people whose albums are, album of the year. You have Adele, 30 was a great album. You have Mary J. Blige, Good Morning Gorgeous, also good. Kendrick Lamar, Lizzo, also really good albums. But they don't compare to the...
It might lose out to Bad Bunny, though, because Bad Bunny is worldwide. He's
and Beyonce is not worldwide?
I'm not saying that. No, I'm not. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, Bad Bunny came out of nowhere with, all of his, acclaim and stuff. He broke Spotify and everything like that. I was just like, wow. He's...
I feel like Beyonce keeps being
overlooked,
shafted at the Grammys. That's why she'll be like, I'm not performing for y'all because I'm not winning. And I should have won. And it's not even it's because I really love Beyonce. I usually will listen to a few of the albums and see if I like them, and most of the time, majority of them do not compare. They're not albums that I'm just like, ooh, I'm gonna listen to this. And the ones that I do really love and that I listen to on repeat, like I would Beyonce album, are never nominated. So I just feel like they need to do right by Beyonce. Adele, she's in some... I think she should win some stuff. I think she's a great artist.
Lizzo should win some stuff, too.
Lizzo
I'm rooting for everybody Black.
and
I guess Adele as well, because she's
remember,
with...
she's Jamaican.
She's with old dude.
What? Remember the little Jamaican...
Yeah, I saw her with a little cornrows, her little...
she had Bantu knots. She was at Carnival in the London Carnival with her Jamaican shirt and the little Bantu knots, which she got dragged for, and then she was like, yeah, my hair was breaking off. Of course it was. That style is not meant for your hair.
Coming to break you off.
But yes, I'm just looking forward to it because I want the people who deserve to win and to not be shafted. Elvis Costello and the Imposters are still making albums.
Yeah, that's weird.
Hey, listen, if y'all like it, go right ahead. But I think that there are definitely some really good.
Arcade Fire.
I didn't hear that one. There are really good albums and songs that are on the list. I just need the Grammys to act right. Like, they really need to not play games because we just deserve it. I do want, you know what? I really want the Beyonce song with T.S. Madison to win so that T.S. Madison can say she's a Grammy award-winning artist.
Yes, that would be
and
cool.
She'll be getting closer to an EGOT. Because if T.S. Madison gets EGOT...
Because you know she got that thing.
She does.
Yes. Those are for the OG fans back in the day who
are aware of her full category of collection.
Her whole catalog.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you know, you know.
Oh man, I don't have that drop.
So we'll see. We'll let you know next week what we thought about it. I really these award shows, I like them for the outfits and for the performances.
Yes.
The nominees winning, it's like whatever. Beyonce's not going to go up there and speak really long. She's going to say thank you to everyone. Thank you, Blue. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Rumi. Thank you to my husband, my mom, and God.
Yes.
And all the fans. That's it. We're not going to get some heart-wrenching speech. But, listen. Just act right. That's all I want.
Okay.
So we will be right back. We have our mental health section.
Yes.
Things we hated this week. And the things that brought us joy. So tune back in a moment.
All right. We'll be back.
You're listening to the Black and Snurdy Podcast.
We now return to the Black and Snurdy Podcast.
Just because I'm losing doesn't mean I'm lost. Doesn't mean I'll stop. Doesn't mean I'm cross. Just because I'm hurting doesn't mean I'm hurt. Doesn't mean I didn't get what I deserve. No better and no worse. I just got lost. Every river that I tried to cross. Every door I ever tried was locked. Oh, and I'm just waiting till the shine wears off. Okay, that's enough.
What song is this?
This is Coldplay, Lost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they did like a Coldplay Jay-Z mashup mixtape, which I appreciated. I used to listen to a lot in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, damn, Coldplay and Jay-Z go together really well.
Yeah, I always liked Coldplay.
Yeah. I can't believe that they're still making music.
It's Chris Martin. That's
Chris Martin,
yeah,
yes.
because that's Gwyneth Paltrow's ex-husband.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought Yellow
Said scoot to the goop.
Yellow is a really good song. That's probably one of the most famous ones they have.
The Scientist.
The Scientist, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one where the music video is going backwards.
Is that the one where he's on the beach?
No, that's the one with
Is that
him.
Yellow?
That's Yellow, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so which button? This one?
For what?
For the mental health.
I believe it's gold. Give me a second. It is gold, yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna start our mental health segment. Every week we like to check in with each other on how we're doing, how our mental health is. And always we are advocates, not experts. And we need to use this time to see how things are going. And we hope that you use this time to check in with yourself as well. What were you going to say?
I was just going to go launch into my week.
Oh, well, we have our questions.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Questions. Do you do a good job seizing the day?
Oh, absolutely not. I think ever since the pandemic started, I've been more of a homebody. and there are elements that keep me from wanting to go outside, which I'll get into that when I get into the things I hate section. There are reasons, like between the cold and between fucking malfunctioning entranceways, and just like a lot of stuff in general that prevent me from wanting to go outside. Like
Hello,
sup?
D-Money.
Yeah, how you doing? Money. All about the money. The money. The money. Okay. But I'm not a seize the day kind of person. At least not anymore. It's just like I don't really like being. I found a nice comfortable groove like in my own apartment.
Season the day doesn't mean, in my opinion, season the day does not mean you're leaving your house.
Well, yeah, for me it would be because like it would be. I got roped into a comedy conversation with somebody who is just a baby in this and wanted to like all this advice and where to go, and I'm just like, well, yeah, he hit me up on Instagram and was just like, where do I find these mics? And I'm just like, well, here's some places, Bad Slava and Free Mics NYC.
He's nice.
Places that you could have Googled.
Young and just looking for help from the people in his community.
Young, dumb, and surrounded by black people.
I can't.
What?
What about?
He's Canadian.
What about?
I haven't said his name.
Thank you.
And I won't say his name.
What about seizing the day? Are you finished with that?
Yes, I think I am finished with it. I don't do a good job of seizing the day.
I will say when all of my mental faculties are where they should be, that I am great at seizing the day. I have a lot of FOMO, and that doesn't mean necessarily going out, but like I don't want to miss things that could potentially like make some component of my life better, more enjoyable, more exciting, or whatever. I want to feel like, and I was telling this to my therapist, that like I want to feel like I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna do all the stuff that like I have listed, and sometimes my mental health impacts that, because like the starting, I feel like with ADHD, starting things is the most difficult. Which is one reason I do appreciate being able to do things with other people, and having that like body doubling occur, because then it's like I can really push myself to do it outside of just like an internal motivation. But I do like, I try to seize the day as much as possible, because I feel like you never know when that opportunity is going to arise again. And I don't want to miss out. Like, I don't want to look back and be like, oh, damn, I should have done that, because I don't like living life with regrets. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I try. But now we've got our questions out of the way. How has your week been?
It's been a tough week. Just with work being more than work, quite frankly. Like, work just being an annoyance and hindrance to my life. There have been many changes at work that have resulted in just more stress placed on me. I now have to do weekly check-ins with my employees, which they're pushing for, or they've been, my bosses have been pushing for. Oh, man. And then this is also the review period where we do our annual reviews and payment compensations. I was trying to do good by my employees, and I was halted at every fucking turn.
You did the best that you could do. You are advocating for everyone, and that is really all that you can do in your position. Like, you always, like, I think that you have been angry at yourself. I know you're angry at the situation, but I feel like you've been putting a lot on your shoulders about this, when in reality, you can only do what you can do, and the rest is up to whoever else has the authority to make more decisions that are not you. So I think you should give yourself some grace and not allow this to frustrate you as much as it has, or try to like figure out a way to not let it frustrate you, because you're always doing the best you can at work. You're a great manager. You motivate, you inspire, you give a listening ear, you give great feedback. You're always looking for ways to help them do better, and just in general help them out, not just as employees, but as people. And I think that is the most important thing that you can do as a manager, because they always say people don't leave companies because of the work necessarily or the pay. A lot of times it has to do with who they're working under and who they're working with. And there's nobody on your team, even if they're not under your purview anymore, that would say, oh, I don't, that they would have you as a reason why they wouldn't want to be at the company, because you are very mindful at work and you do the best that you can.
Yeah, you first and foremost, the way that it's set up, it's that and I think they did this on purpose. I think they did it to insulate themselves from any sort of scrutiny, where because damn well, like the way that it's set up is now the employees review me, and then I review my manager. And so the review from my manager goes to her manager, and then the reviews for me go to my manager, which is, not my direct, not the new guy, but the one who was there before.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I've been told that everybody gave me a nice glowing review, which is nice.
Factual and warranted. And
I hope that's factored in to payment adjustments, but based on the bullshit rubric that they've given, I doubt it. But
nobody could say that you're not outstanding.
I think I am outstanding. It's outstandanding, excels or exceeds, successful. And then inconsistent, and then unsuccessful.
Even if, like, I mean,
I'm definitely
exceeds.
The
thing is,
at the very
I can
least.
Understand,
but they're gonna. I can already
though
see that
it's
they're
obnoxious,
gonna bust me down to sucking successful.
It's obnoxious that they don't want to give outstanding for fear that more people won't work as hard or something.
Oh, okay,
but
that's what that was.
At the end of the day, if you tell me I'm outstanding, that I'm going to be trying to keep that level of excellence, because who wants to go backwards?
Yeah, nobody wants to go backwards.
But I recognize that in corporate spaces, they want to like kind of dangle the carrot a little bit.
Yeah.
So I still don't think you could get anything under exceeds, because you do exceed in every situation, and you're a great worker. You do everything that's asked of you and more. And also, you're a great people manager. So
yeah.
I don't think you should be worried. And if they don't give you exceeds, well, fuck them.
Yes.
Because that is just inaccurate. And they can go to hell.
And the worst part is they know. I obviously, my direct manager doesn't know any of this shit, but I believe my above person that I have to write a report for does know.
Yeah.
And I think they'll be using that to make sure that I don't get the maximum. You know what I mean?
Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And don't speak it out there into
I'm not trying to put it out there into existence. I'm just preparing myself for the worst. Prepare for the worst.
Prepare yourself
hope for the best.
Hope for the best, but just keep in mind that you always do your best, and like, what else could they ask for, honestly?
Yeah.
But is there anything else going on with you this week that you want to talk about?
Mental health wise, just was thinking about maybe starting therapy again, but I'm not sure if I have the budget for it. So I might, and not because like I just like a checkup, you know what I mean? Just like checking back in, maybe like on a once a month basis of some kind of schedule like that. But until I know what my finances will be looking like, and I won't know that until like the end of the month. And I still have to pay for the Jamaica package and the flight. I won't make any movements on seeking therapy. Not because I don't want to. Just because it's nice to have like a mental checkup every now and then.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. What is this? What is
Hello,
this?
Suzette.
Hello there, Suzette. Okay, thank God. Oh, that was close. But anyhow, yeah, that's me. How are you doing, mental health wise?
I will say this week I've been pretty good. I celebrated my 6-month anniversary at my new job, which I feel, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of and along with my 6-month anniversary coincided with my first major project, finishing that.
How long has it been?
6 months.
It's been.
And it coincided with the major project I was working on. And even though in all things considered, it wasn't like the biggest thing, but being new and having to think about all these different tools and processes and all these like just jargon that you have to be aware of, I'm glad that I am doing well. I feel like I haven't gotten any negative feedback from my team or anyone that I've been working with. I really enjoy my manager and my other teammates. It feels very much like everybody wants me to be there, is excited about me being there, and is always looking to help out in some way, which, I mean, compared to my last job, I feel like it's leaps and bounds.
Night and day.
Yeah.
Day and night.
So I really am been appreciative of that. I'm very grateful.
I was about to say something mean about the previous employer.
You can say something mean.
Day and night. I toss and turn with the stress in her mind.
But I feel like when I think
24 hours of social media made her miss a fucking beach day.
And I think about the time when I was there at that job, like how bad my mental health was and how much it made me like be very, I feel like more depressed than I already was.
Mm-hmm.
But also more agitated than I am normally. More sensitive to everything that I am normally.
Mm-hmm.
So like things that were happening then, if they were happening now, it wouldn't even have been like necessarily like a blip on my radar. And I mean, I've talked about that in therapy, which, about like why my work is the work that I'm doing and the people I'm dealing with day to day and the kind of interactions I'm having day to day are very important because when you're constantly being criticized and spoken down to, it's like as someone who like and I've talked about this before, but like one major part of ADHD is like RSD, rejection sensitivity
Disorder.
I think it's another D, but it might be disorder, but whatever. Which basically it's like criticism feels like it's actually physically painful.
Mm-hmm.
And also it's like, someone says, oh, I don't like that shirt you're wearing. And it could be something that you're overthinking for the whole week, or just like smaller things that for other people it would just roll off their shoulders. That's not going to happen. So when you're constantly being criticized and you never are being told like, or it's like you're being criticized even when you're doing your best, then it's like everything that you're hearing from everyone else feels like a constant critique, and it brings down your mood. It brings down your ability to really like connect with others in a meaningful way, at least for me, because I'm already sensitive to criticism. And when I feel like it's like unjust and unfair, it just makes it worse for me, and everything else feels so heightened.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, that's one of the major fuck yous I feel like I have for that place, is like being mistreated and like the anxiety. Like I feel like I have not felt constant anxiety in this last year or 2 years since I've not been there. And I'm so grateful for that, because having anxiety already is frustrating. And then when you're on constant pins and needles, that just makes every other interaction with anyone else worse. And it's just not good.
You know what that is?
What is it?
It's growth.
It is growth. I feel like I've had a lot of growth over the last 2 years. Thankfully, having a great therapist, great people around me to show me, what things, like being good mirrors to me and showing me things, which I really appreciate. And I think just my pledge to myself is to never stay in a space that is causing me physical and emotional pain, anxiety, depression, etc. Because that's only going to make every other part of my life worse, regardless of how much it's paying me, because it wasn't even paying me that much for the stress that it was causing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm grateful for that. I was talking. I think I talked to you the other day about therapy and how we've been unlocking new things, mostly like family related and things that generally I don't really think about often, because I feel like one of the best parts about ADHD and worst parts is how things like memories and feelings can just kind of evaporate after the conversation is over. So I feel like a lot of times, like with my family, I'm able to really forget any issues that I'm having with them. So like if there's a situation, I might be upset about it. I might want to talk about it a lot, but like I'm not holding like a grudge about it. Mm-hmm. But then when something comes up to trigger that situation, that's when it's like, oh fuck, I forgot about all these things that were hurting me or causing me pain or whatever. And I'm glad that my therapist really, I recognize that she really does listen to me, because she like this week, she was like, well, you've mentioned XYZ a few times in other situations when we've talked. Is this something that you want to think about? And that's why when we were talking about the other week, should I be in therapy or not still, it's like the reason why I haven't stopped yet is because she keeps unlocking things that are like added to a list, like our therapy to-do list. And it's like, I want to get those things out of the way until it's like, if she comes up with something, she's like, oh, is this something that you feel like you want to work on, or is it like no big deal? And if it's like no big deal, then I would be like, yeah, nah, it's no big deal, or I feel like I could manage it on my own. But I am very grateful for her, because I feel like the growth that I've had in the last 2 years is definitely connected to her. And I feel like my boundaries, I'm creating boundaries in a way that I haven't before. I'm able to be vulnerable in a way that I haven't before. And I really appreciate that, because I feel like that is how I am in my truest form, is saying what I want, saying what I don't want, being open and honest, and saying how I feel, and being, emotional, and not feeling bad for it. So, yeah, I would say overall, a pretty good week, mental health wise.
You know what you gotta do?
What do I have to do?
Gotta hit a pose.
Jojo, pose, pose, pose. Jojo, pose, pose, pose.
Here we go.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, everyone.
Yes.
Watch it. It's actually,
We still haven't finished. Well, we haven't finished that. We haven't finished Attack on Titan.
We finished the one with the girl in jail. But we have other
did
ones.
we finish that one?
We finished that because remember the last episode, it went back to the beginning
Oh,
and
okay.
it picked everybody up on the car.
Yeah.
Which I was just telling my best friend Gabby.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to her about you, and because she was telling me how she was watching Naruto all over again, randomly.
Naruto.
What did I say?
Naruto.
Is it not Naruto?
It's Naruto.
You
don't have to put the
emphasis on the
Yeah, you don't have to.
Naruto.
Yeah.
She was saying, well, she's about to watch it again, and I was like, well, Maurice has been getting me to watch animes because it's not that I dislike anime. But I feel like as a kid, one, the animation always threw me off, and I feel like the older animes, honestly, the animation and the storylines were not. They just were not my cup of tea. Like, say for instance, there were some that I really enjoyed, like Kiki's Delivery Service. That was always one that I really loved. But like maybe some Sailor Moon or something like that. But I think that they weren't, one, readily available where I was gonna be able to have them, so I could kind of immerse myself.
You had to watch it on Toonami.
Yes, and then also like Pokemon, I liked playing the game, but I wasn't really like super into the show. And like Digimon and Dragon Ball Z, like those just weren't interesting to me in the same way that some of the ones you showed me now. They have like the amount of anime. There's such a
We're
large
definitely
catalog.
in a anime boom right now.
You know?
Because like anime has always been around, but we're definitely in a boom where like there'll be 30 shows that come out each season.
Hi, mommy.
Hello there. Hey, we're just talking about anime.
So I feel like now I'm getting more. I'm glad that I'm able to get more into them. There's so many on Netflix.
Yes.
There's like, you don't have to have Crunchyroll to watch them.
I think the next one I'll get you to watch all the way through might be Death Note.
I like Death Note. I think that's an interesting one. Because a lot of them, I like the characters.
Because I picked up on, that's the reason why I started putting on The Shield, because you like procedurals. Death Note is a procedural. Like there's a supernatural element to it, but
which I also like.
But it's also like. It's also serialized in that each episode it's a little bit more progression into the larger story. And it's a psychological crime thriller. Yeah.
But that's why I like that one. We haven't really finished watching it, and I don't even know if they have more.
Darling in the Franxx?
Well, I like Darling in the Franxx, but the one where it was like you had it was like something psychotic, something where like
Psychopaths.
Yeah, I liked that one. And I like and the only reason that we haven't really finished.
That's also a procedural as well, yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like Attack on Titan, even though for a very long time I was very anti, several people had tried to get me to watch it, and I was just like, I don't like zombies, so this right here is not going to work.
Once you get into the story, it becomes less and less about that.
Yeah, because then that's the part that I like, and then even with the
and
Titans,
their final season is coming too. Like,
it's coming out. Oh,
yeah.
Is it already out?
No. It's coming out this year.
Okay.
Well, final season part 3, and then there's because they broke up the final season into like
3 parts.
I think 4 parts actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I think once I got over the scariness of the Titans and how weird they look, because they just look so weird.
Yeah, they're big naked ass fucking humanoid monsters that eat
zombies.
humans.
And zombies is already a genre where it's very difficult for me to get into because I hate it. But I've appreciate the story, and it's not as scary for me anymore. So I like all the different people. I like the characters and their stories. So yeah, I like them. I mean, I would say one of my favorite ones we've watched is definitely what's the name of the one that the people who made Darling in the Franxx? The one with the
Kill the Kill.
Kill the Kill. I would say that's definitely a top one.
Mm-hmm.
My mom also does not like zombies.
Okay, you're not watching Last of Us.
No, she said she was not watching that at all. At all.
It's a good show.
It is good.
It's
I have
really
watched
good.
It's not that bad.
So far, not as much focus on the zombie aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, episode 2 was, but episode 3,
that was more on the people, and that I feel like if you watched any episode, you would like episode 3 because it was more about the story. It was a love story. It was drama. It was like all the things that you could want. No, they're not. They're not zombies.
They're not zombies.
They're eating people and killing people, and they're people who are turning into monsters. It's zombie-esque.
The zombie-esque, yes. It's a zombie-esque story. There's a backdrop of, like, it's more of, like, this is the world that they live in, but, like, it's not the focus on it like it is in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Walking Dead, it's like...
She watched a few seasons of The Walking Dead, and then she was like, she got tired of it. She was like, it's getting ridiculous.
It was getting ridiculous.
Silly.
There's no reason that The Walking Dead should have lasted as long as
No,
it.
even
I stopped when, spoiler alert,
I mean, at this point,
Glenn got his face bashed in with a bat.
That was terrible.
Yes.
That's not fun. No, don't. That's
Hold
not
on.
funny. That's not funny. I'm going to tell you the backstory of this.
Yeah, we'll talk about this off mic.
That's not funny. Anyway.
It has something to do with you?
Yes. It's not funny.
Ew. If it's what I'm thinking.
It's not. Don't be gross. Anyway, we have finished with our mental health segment, and we are going to move on to one of the, I feel like, our most cathartic segments of the week. Which button is it?
It's purple.
Purple. Every week, we like to talk about the things that are annoying us, that are frustrating us.
Well, you don't talk during the drop, though. Gripe here. This safe space for us to share. We gripe here. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe here. Really?
It wasn't on that long. You're not bad. You're not great with time.
Really? You watched the whole, 10 years. It has been on for what feels like 10 years. It's on, season 10 right now. It's on, it's doing... No, this is, they split up the final season.
If The Walking Dead had less zombies and more,
human stories.
just the story.
I mean, they do,
those are scarier than the zombies, but I feel like I don't like that either. I don't like
you don't like it when humanity
scenario.
is pushed to the brink and
like
shows
that.
their evil side.
Yeah, because I already think about those things on my own about what would happen if what
Okay, all right. You're telling. All right, so that's what strained
my mom
credulity
said
for
that
you.
when the lions arrived,
When there
stopped
were
watching
lions,
Walking Dead.
There's a bunch of dead animated humanoids walking around, biting people, turning people, eating flesh. But the lion was the one that really said, "All right."
Did you watch the lions? What did that have? What did the lions do?
It's not lions. It's not plural. It's one. There's one. There's
someone had.
There's a dude who has a lion for a pet.
Listen, I would.
Who's tamed a lion?
If I was in a situation where there is possible people trying to come and kill me.
You're telling me you wouldn't want a lion as a pet, in an apocalypse scenario?
I have Brooklyn for the same reason I would want a gun, because I know that no one's going to mess with me.
He is a little lion.
He's a little lion. No one's messing with me with Brooklyn. But question.
No one's...
In The Walking...
Yeah, true. I guess no one's
in The Walking Dead, do the animals not become zombies?
No, the animals don't become zombies.
Okay.
There's no zombie animals.
So that's a perfect situation, because I feel like in Among Us, Last Among Us...
that's what strained it. Multicolored dreads. He's not a Percocet rapper or anything like that. He's just a. He has. It's not even multicolored. They're gray. He's an older man. He has gray dreadlocks.
Well, it was.
They can come in different colors, but he's not dyeing them. They're gray. They're just gray. I know who she's talking about on the show, which is strange because this. I don't even watch this show, and I'm getting defensive about it.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about the things that we hate. or the things that pissed us off this week.
Yeah.
I mean, I have some things, even something that happened when I was on my way over here that I didn't even tell you about because I wanted to wait until we talked about this. But you could go first.
All right. So here's my thing. I fucking hate where I live. I do. I absolutely do. There's 2 ways to get into my building. The main way, which is 2 doors, one is locked, one is not, and then going down the elevator into the basement. I should have never. No wonder the apartment was priced as it was. No wonder it was a COVID deal at a steal, because there's only one real way to get in there, and that's taking the elevator. The side door is there's no steps to go down into the basement.
Steps inside the building.
There are people who live in this fucking basement. Like there's multi.
There's at least 5 people. I think there's 5 apartments down
There's
here.
5 apartments. There's different families. Like I don't know what. I've never I only see them in passing, and I didn't even know that.
They're all very nice.
Yeah, they're all very nice.
The Haitian family across, they're pregnant again. Or she looks pregnant.
Of course.
She looks pregnant.
Of course.
3-year-old.
Sure. Like I don't know anything about that family. They seem nice. I saw a bug go into their apartment, and I did nothing to stop it.
They also have a lot, when they open the door to bring out the garbage, I always see a lot of things. It's like a hoarder apartment.
I don't know. I don't know from
nice.
anything. They seem
cute.
nice. They seem nice. Definitely Nation of Islam.
No, they're Haitian.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I saw the dude wearing a kufi.
He might be. Maybe they're Muslim Haitians, but I don't know. Maybe they are Haitian. Who knows?
I don't know. But either way, this building is fucked when it comes to being able to get down to an apartment, and it makes me want to not leave my apartment ever because I don't cause fucking trouble. Okay?
Your model.
I have issues with my apartment, and even those issues, I'm like, whenever you can. You know what I mean? I'm a nice fucking guy. How dare you be like, oh, it's always something with this fucking guy. And I'm like, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? Who the fuck do you think you are? Like, there's always something. I lost my key once. And I found it because I left it in a hotel in DC and had to fucking ask somebody to come and open the door. That's all. That is it.
He really pissed me off.
The elevator was broken last night, and we weren't able to get into the apartment at 2:00. We had to buzz every single apartment.
I felt so bad. Could you imagine? Like, you know how annoying it is sometimes when it'll just be like maybe 9 p.m. and someone's buzzing.
Someone's buzzing me, and I'm just like, I don't know who that is. I'm not answering the door.
It, but like because when I spoke to him and I said, we cannot get down the elevator because of the buttons,
I don't have keys to the side door.
And he tried to say, everybody has keys. No, because I remember when you moved in, and I remember asking you, do you have keys to the side door? And you asked them, and they said no. Tenants can't have keys. At some point, they made keys.
So that everybody
key.
they didn't give me a fucking key.
And I would have known if they had given you a key, because you would have said, "Oh, they gave you a key," or they would have slipped it under the door like those other stupid random notes. They're
They're really good at asking for my rent money, but they're not good when it comes to getting me goddamn keys to the side door. I don't even want to leave my apartment. I have 2 trips coming up. And if I come back and then the fucking elevator is broken and I have to just sit on the fucking lobby and just like, what am I supposed to do? You know?
Like, the fact that you have to engage with, I mean, at this point.
I might have a friend who might be staying here for like a weekend. No, not Jamaica, for a weekend.
Okay.
Like, come visit.
But, like, the fact that people are calling you at 1:30 in the morning and you're just like, oh, sorry.
Whoever heard of a super that doesn't live in the goddamn building?
I'm not
that
there,
doesn't make
too
sense
late.
to me. Like, you spend all of your time in a building that you don't even live. I thought one of the benefits of being a super was you got reduced rent or something. You got to live
It
there for
is.
free.
But maybe
That's
maybe
what
he
I
has
learned
somebody
from
else
PJ's The Projects
has
and
somebody else
Insecure.
living in the building, so he doesn't have to. Who doesn't know? But he was fucking an asshole and was so rude.
Fuck you.
When I called him,
There's always
and-
something with this guy. Shut the fuck up.
Well, why are you calling? And no, first of all, you don't know what their person. He's busy at the moment, and I'm calling you to get the situation handled. And you're being a fucking asshole.
Absolute ridiculous.
At this time at night, just being a freaking asshole. Because if you didn't pay your rent on time, they would be able to contact you anytime. But because when you're locked out, and even when I called the 311, you heard the lady, she was like, it's the coldest night of the year. Yeah. Fucking is. I mean, thankfully we were inside
I'm snitching.
the
I'm
building.
snitching. I'm
But
snitching
no,
to my landlord. I'm snitching to my landlord. Like, I need fucking keys.
This is
and this
ridiculous.
motherfucker won't give them to me. I'm snitching.
All right, is that all you were upset
No, I'm not. I'm still upset about getting robbed in Jersey. I'm still because I still have to get, I'm still waiting for a card.
Capital One is
Between this apartment and between Capital One and Wells Fargo keeps sending me an email every single day. We're investing your inquiry. Like, that just... It doesn't take that long to investigate to see that I did not make these charges.
But also, I
can't do anything. I was supposed to have, I was waiting till my taxes came back, both of them. I already got the federal. I'm waiting for the state. Once I got both of them, I was gonna buy my Jamaica package. I already got the federal tax. I was gonna put that into I can't make any movements until I have my inquiry based on the dispute
is, number one,
solved and resolved.
I've had inquiries with Chase before, and they will give me back all the money, and then if their inquiry figures out, okay, there was one time I went in college. I went to go visit my aunt in Ohio. R.I.P. Auntie Linda. And I went there. I bought a hotel package on Priceline, and when they looked like they had paid for it, but I think they only took like a portion of the money, and then they put the rest of the money later. But I didn't realize that, so I thought it was fraud. So I thought they had charged me twice. So I contacted them. They gave me all the money back, and then they did their inquiry, and then they said, "Oh, actually, this is what happened. They only charged you half. So we're gonna have to take the rest." They took the money. That's it. And then it's like if you give me the money right now, it's electronic. You could literally do it in 5 seconds. Give me the money if there's an issue.
And I handle those chargebacks for my company. Like, I handle those, so I see when they open them up and investigate and stuff. And a lot of times, customers will be like, "Oh, I'm trying to return something. I don't know how the return portal works, so I'm gonna open up a dispute about this charge." And I'm just like, "Well, that's stupid because you did buy this." You are saying that now you're lying and saying that you never got it. Well, here's the tracking information, and here's this email that says that you have it, and that you're trying to return it. So now you done told on yourself. So,
well, these banks are annoying. They need to do better.
Yes.
Because it shouldn't take you 10 days
so
to get
between
a debit
this
card.
apartment and the banks, I am not having a good time. I don't want to go anywhere. It shouldn't be that hard to live. You know what I mean? And I should have known that something was up.
You cannot stay in your apartment because you have to go out at some point for things. Even if it's just...
That's why I don't want to bring a dog into this apartment.
I mean, the thing is,
because what if I leave out and then I come back, the elevator's not working, and then now just me and Scruff are just sitting there in the lobby watching all the other gentrified families come in here and other people's dying abuelas coming in here.
Stop it.
Just going up to their third floor apartment. Always on the sixth floor. Always on the sixth floor. Yeah. Everybody lives on the fucking sixth floor. For some reason, no one lives on the second floor. No, it's always on the 6th floor. Whenever I get into an elevator, I'm like, I'm trying to go downstairs. They're like, we're going upstairs. I was never gonna do a voice. But
well, okay. Are those all the things?
Sure.
Are you sure?
I think that's pretty much everything. Oh, and a big F you to just management in general. Always trying to play by the rules and screw people out of money. Like, you done made things hard for a lot of people, and it puts extra pressure on me to have to deal with it. So now, I'm just saying, you done pissed off a lot of people, and now you've insulated yourself so that you don't have to deal with it and never have to hear from it.
That's the point of being.
And what do I look like? I'm gonna be the one that's gonna speak out and put it in my fucking review report.
You can, and say this things were done poorly. This is how I feel about it. Because at the end of the day, you need to be giving clear, direct responses to these. You can't sugarcoat, or else the shit's gonna keep happening, and there's gonna be no receipts.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to say, I said this in my review, that these things are happening. People are feeling this about XYZ. Because, people will try to get away with whatever if they think they can.
Yeah. Well, all right. What's pissing you off?
Number 1.
I'm looking at the time. Yeah.
MTA.
Is that what that is?
No, that's something else. That's the other thing that was happening.
Okay.
MTA. There's no reason why every single fucking train station should not have an elevator or at least an escalator so that people can go up. And this is not for someone like me. I am an able-bodied person. I'm young. I can move up and down with ease, but it is frustrating, of course, if you have like a luggage. Yesterday, when I was going to my doctor's appointment for my eye doctor, I get down to the train, and this little abuelita is, first of all, she has canes and a cart. She can't get up. Everybody has just left her at the thing. No one was even like, oh, can you help? And I was only coming down the thing because I was going down to my train. So then I had to help her. She was trying to get to the other side of the platform because 7th Avenue, there's no bridge. So I had to help her up, get the cart up the top, bring it to the bottom. I had like 3 minutes for my train. And I wasn't trying to rush her, of course. Of course, she's moving slow because she's older. But there's no way, if I hadn't been there, this woman would have been struggling. If she would have even, I don't even think she would have even really been able to move.
That would have been like a 20-minute endeavor. It would have been an episode of something.
Because it wasn't just that she had a big cart. She also she had the crutches for a reason. Like she had something with her feet or whatever. So that, we need all of our public transit systems, whether that's plane, trains, buses, automobiles, need to be accessible to every person in every time of their life, whatever they need, because this is ridiculous. We are one of the largest and oldest transit systems. Put a fucking elevator or at least an escalator so that people could use it, because that was just, it was so frustrating, and I didn't mind helping her. Like that to me was not the problem. It was the fact that she was going to be stuck if it wasn't for a good Samaritan to assist her. Also, well, we already talked about your landlord, which that's what I was angry about as well. Mm-hmm. Also, Apple. Why are you selling fucking devices and not giving people the charger bottom to connect, whether it's a phone, if it's an AirPod, if it's a whatever? You cannot assume that I had to buy a new pair of AirPods because I had just been holding out on mine. And I lost the last one when I was in London.
I feel like they stopped doing that for like a few years ago.
I feel like it was like 2 years ago. I remember hearing something where people were getting annoyed because
they
were like,
weren't
"Oh, we're not getting
selling
the
boxes anymore. Those are like a separate thing.
And that would not be so much of an issue if they didn't. Now it's no law. It's the USB-C connector on the new ones.
Yeah.
I don't have I might.
On your laptop.
On my laptop, I have one. I don't think I have a box to go plug in. That's a USB connector. So that means I'm gonna have to.
There's one on this little adapter. That's it.
Well, that's good. But then
But I had to buy the adapter in order.
I'm outside or somewhere. If I go somewhere and I need that means I have to spend more money. And every single charger should have the same. Fuck all of these different. In Europe, it's this way. In America, it's this way. Everywhere should have the same type of plug. I don't care which one it is. Pick one. Pick a plug. And I think in Europe,
plug talk.
In Europe, they were saying that it's making it illegal to have like different types of plugs. Because at this point, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It's so ridiculous. Everywhere, same plug, same outlet, same little connectors, because you're making people spend more money than they need to spend on the things that we need to charge the devices that we all own and use on a day-to-day basis. Lastly, men. I feel like the worst thing that I have to deal with when it comes to men and also white people is never knowing when they're going to be on some fuck shit shenanigans. And this could be in the middle of a lovely day like today. It's like 49 degrees. It feels like summer compared to the last few days. I'm walking over here, just minding my own business. And as I'm walking down where the bodega is, this man sees me and he's like, "Oh, I'm hitting that for sure." And then proceeds to try and talk to me. And then I'm just ignoring him because I'm like, don't engage or else they're going to follow you. And then you're going to be fearful for your life even more. But kept talking at me. "Oh, you're not going to turn around." And I was so, like, in those moments, it's like, I don't feel, I would say, fearful. But I am aware of the fact that a man can at any point, if he so desires, assault me in any way. That could be spitting at me or physically assaulting me. Maybe saying like words, which he did. He was like calling me a bitch and like a butterhead or whatever because I didn't want to talk to him. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. That's what he said.
Butterhead?
A butterhead. He was calling me a butt. Like, first of all, sir.
Wait.
You tried to talk
Hold
to
on.
me.
Everything's good but ahead?
I guess. I don't know. I guess so. Maybe that's what that means. Either way, you came to talk to me. So you saw my face in my head before you decided to say that ridiculous thing that you said. And then you
That's the name of this episode. Butt ahead.
I'm glad that my moments of being
Well, it was
harassed
either that or prison meat.
are funny to you.
What?
I'm glad that my moments of
They
being
stick
harassed
out.
are funny.
I don't know what to
That
tell
I
you.
felt threatened.
Okay. All right.
But
Okay.
it's okay. We can laugh.
No, you have a smile. You have a smile on your face.
Yeah, because I have to do that all the time to stop from crying at the constant exposure to harassment from every point of my life. Whether it's from a man, whether it's from a white person. Like, there's no moments where I could just be freely frolicking down the street and not be possibly worried that at some point I'm going to get Me Too'd or Black Lives Mattered. I mean, you don't know. That is what it feels like being a black woman, because you never know and you have to constantly be on your guard.
I'm laughing at how ridiculous it is.
No, it was ridiculous, because why would you
to
think
call somebody a butterhead?
that you're going to say, "Oh, I'm hitting that for sure." And then what? I'm supposed to be like, "Oh, sure, daddy. Give me my number." No, I don't understand why that would even be the problem. I'm like, is there?
It's also too cold for that. I mean, it's bad in general, but also like, why are you outside?
Why are you talking to
Why
me?
it's 16 degrees outside.
Like, go home.
Go
leave me
home
alone. And
next
I'm
to a
sure,
furnace.
Like, he was like, oh, so you're not going to talk? So you're not going to speak, huh? And that's when he called me the butthead. And I'm glad I honestly, compared it to him spitting and or, like, throwing something or coming up and hitting me, it definitely was a ideal situation because I don't care what this random man on the street has to say to me. But it's just, men,
Butterhead.
do fucking better.
Men should do better.
Like, honestly,
admittedly, yes.
do better. You always want to say, oh, these women don't want to talk to me. How about it's because you act like a fucking asshole and nobody wants to talk to you when you're doing that? So, that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
And also because your landlord, for his fucking condescending, passive-aggressive, obnoxious behavior, it was very rude. And I had really had to just rein myself in and not kirk out on him because it was so late. It was a long fucking day.
Yeah, it was.
And you're going to have an attitude.
My feet were hurting from the fuck.
My feet were hurting too. We had been out all day, so it made sense our feet were going to be hurting. But it was just like, I'm tired. I would like to play Risk.
I never want to bowl in my shoes ever again.
Yeah, I feel like that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't think that you should do that, even if it's not going to stop.
Oh, don't worry. It doesn't mess up the hard one.
Okay, if you've been to Melody Lanes, are they having Black or White Lives Matter shirts?
Yo,
that's what it looked like to me.
They
and I could not...
had a sign on the door, like,
oh yes,
that was like no baggy pants, no sagging and
no hoodies,
like, no hoodies, and it made me realize I was just like, wait, so they don't want want black people? They're in a fucking neighborhood where it's mostly Hispanic people.
Well, that neighborhood I would say is mostly like white, Hispanic,
Asian, and gentrified.
And then black. And then the gentrifiers are just mixed in.
Because I used to live in that neighborhood.
But like,
I used to go up to that laundromat that's near Melody Lanes.
Putting restrictions on people's clothing is not going to change crime. Because just because if I wore saggy pants and a hoodie,
what crimes are happening?
Nothing.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say what crimes are happening at bowling alleys, but that's how what's his face died. Take off.
Oh, yeah. But they weren't wearing baggy jeans. They all looked like their jeans were on their waists.
Yeah.
But it was Houston, so they were wearing whatever Houston people wear. But it was also a high class bowling establishment. So it doesn't. In this fucking Melody Lanes where you barely have like
fucking $10 for any cocktail, any. It's not a fucking club. Like it's just.
And the old man wasn't even there to give.
I know. I hope he's okay.
I hope he's okay.
Because first off, there's only, if you know how Saturdays are, you should have 2 bartenders instead of 1.
Yes.
2, where was the old man? Like, I hope he's okay. He's an institution when it comes to, he's a staple of Melody Lanes. And 3, and this is the most important part, don't take somebody's ball back without asking if anybody's using this ball. Also, I was using the 7 with the bigger holes. Like, what about this 7? I'm like, this 7 has bigger holes for my hands. The other one feels mad uncomfortable, but luckily I got a strike. And like, as long as I got 1 strike, I was gonna feel good.
I got
a couple spares. Yeah.
It was, the game was rigged against me, and it would not give me 1 single fucking spare. But all right, that was it. Now we're going to which one?
I believe that is green.
We're going to our favorite part.
The things that made us happy.
Of this. What is happening?
Push it once.
I'm the baby merchant. Tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or 2. I'll have your baby for you.
All right, what made you happy this week?
No, you go first. I started first with the fucking fucking landlord shit.
Okay, well, I would say my 6-month anniversary at work made me happy. Finishing my project at work made me happy. Beyonce dropping her fucking Renaissance tour dates made me happy, and I'll be even happier when I get confirmation that I have a ticket. I got my ticket to Thailand for my cousin Emeka's 40th birthday. And we had a very joyful weekend, even though there were some shenanigans, for people's birthday. Happy birthday, Kai. Happy birthday, Sam. It was all the events were so fun, so joyful. Just seeing everybody and getting to just hang out, talk. Like, I got to see Lindsay, who I haven't seen forever. It was just and Evie, great times. It was a great weekend in that regard.
Evie.
That's what I said.
Yes. I was remembering his name.
Yeah, because my name's eBay.
Because I did that lame thing. I did that uncool thing when I was just like, Evie and eBay, that's what we say. And I'm just like, Maurice.
It worked.
That's the only way that I could remember his name.
That was right. It worked. We got to see a bunch of people. It was great. We got to meet new people.
Oh, my friend K. KV. Shout out to KV. Got to meet my other comedian friends.
Yes.
So that was nice. I've been trying to get her to meet my group of friends and ingratiate her so that she's a part of my larger friend group for a long time now. And it's good that she got to meet my white friends, my black friends. She got to meet. She got to come out to, the party and everything like that.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
I feel like that was just, a really fun time. Of course, spending time with you and doing this podcast is always the joy of my week.
Sure.
So, that's it.
Okay. Doing this podcast with you made me happy. Again, seeing my friends and having my friends meet with each other. I found out that my one friend who was supposed to be going to Jamaica is now going to Texas. I tried to convince her, hey, fuck that. Go on the trip anyway. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. I know you have the money. But she was like, no, I already bought my ticket to Texas out of rage because I could work from Texas. And I'm just like, that's not a real vacation. You deserve.
That makes you happy or angry?
It makes me happy that they're coping.
Yes.
It makes me happy that they're coping. Seeing all of my friends and being with them has made me happy. So there we go.
Good. Well, I think we're at our mark here. And
yeah, we're at our stopping point.
As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Please follow us on social media. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever else you get your podcasts. Listen to the episodes.
Follow us on Instagram to find out when we're recording.
Yes, and look out for our Watch Out Wednesdays. We're currently reviewing Kaleidoscope. We don't know what's going to be next. It could be old. It could be new. Who knows? But we always look forward to spending time with you.
Yes. And take it easy. And as the message at the end says, drink lots of water.
And take your meds.
And take your meds and subs. Bye. Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorish is Legit. That's Licorish is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's that's OD, THATSOD.E. And on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Sturdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.